In this video, we will explore the concept of grave worship in light of the Quran and Sunnah, unravel why it is so dangerous, and reflect on how we can safeguard our Iman. Stay with me as we uncover how this misstep shakes the very foundation of our belief and what we can do to stand firm on the path of Tawheed. Tawheed, the heart of Islam. Before diving into grave worship, we must revisit Tawheed, our belief in the oneness of Allah. Allah says, "And I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me." Surah Ad-Dariyat 51-56. Tawheed is the essence of Islam. Every act of worship or prayer, dua, or reliance is directed solely to Allah. But Shaitan, the sworn enemy of mankind, seeks to corrupt this connection. Grave worship is one of his traps, a deception dressed in the guise of devotion and respect. How does this start? Often, it begins with small acts, visiting a righteous person's grave to feel closer to Allah, or seeking their intercession. Over time, these acts escalate, turning graves into shrines and the deceased into intermediaries. This leads to shirk, associating partners with Allah, the one sin Allah has promised not to forgive if unrepented. The danger of grave worship. Grave worship is not new. It was among the earliest deviations of past nations. The people of Nah, for example, started venerating righteous individuals after their death. As time passed, statues were built in their memory, and slowly, these statues became objects of worship. Allah warns us about this in the Quran, and they said, "Never leave your gods, and never leave Wad or Suwa or Yaguth and Yaruk and Nasr." Surah Nah 71-23. These names belong to pious individuals whose graves became sites of misdirected devotion. The gradual shift from admiration to worship mirrors what we see in grave worship today. Modern manifestations range from offering flowers and candles at graves to outright seeking miracles or blessings from the dead. Prophet Muhammad explicitly warned against this practice. "Do not exaggerate in praising me as the Christians exaggerated in praising Jesus, the Son of Mary, for I am only a slave. So call me the slave of Allah and His Messenger." Sahih al-Bukhari. If even excessive praise of the Prophet is warned against, how can we justify overstepping with others? Why grave worship persists. Grave worship often stems from cultural traditions rather than religious evidence. People feel a connection to righteous predecessors and mistakenly believe they can act as intermediaries between them and Allah. They might say, "But I am not worshipping the grave, I'm only asking them to ask Allah for me." This logic, while seemingly innocent, contradicts the essence of Tawheed. The Quran is clear, and they worship besides Allah that which neither harms them nor benefits them. And they say, "These are our intercessors with Allah." Surah Yunus 10:18. Only Allah has the power to answer our prayers. Seeking help from the deceased is not only ineffective, but also a betrayal of our faith in Allah's supremacy. The correct way to honor the dead. Islam provides a balanced way to honor the deceased. Visiting graves is encouraged, not for worship, but to reflect on death and the hereafter. The Prophet said, "Visit the graves, for it reminds you of the hereafter." Sunan Ibn Majah. When we visit, our focus should remain on dua for the deceased. Ask Allah to forgive them, have mercy on them, and grant them Jannah. This is the way of the righteous and the way of the Sunnah. How to safeguard our faith. To protect ourselves from falling into grave worship, we need awareness and vigilance. Here are 3 practical steps. Educate yourself. Knowledge is the first line of defense. Study the Quran and Sunnah to understand the principles of Tawheed. Read about the dangers of Shirk and learn how to recognize its subtle forms. Seek Allah directly. Allah is closer to us than our jugular vein. There is no need for intermediaries. The Quran states, "And when my servants ask you concerning me, indeed I am near. I respond to the invocation of the supplicant when he calls upon me." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:186. This verse is a reminder of Allah's accessibility to all of us, without the need for anyone else. Promote correct practices. If you see someone engaging in grave worship, approach them with wisdom and kindness. Share the evidence from the Quran and Sunnah, and remind them that their devotion is best directed to Allah alone. Returning to Tawheed. As we end this journey, let us reflect on the gravity of Shirk and the beauty of Tawheed. Grave worship is not a harmless tradition. It is a deviation that threatens our ultimate purpose. Let us renew our commitment to Allah, seeking Him in every moment and trusting in His mercy and power. May Allah protect us from all forms of shirk, guide us to the straight path, and grant us a heart that is steadfast in Tawheed. Ameen. If you found this discussion meaningful, share it with others. Let's spread awareness about this vital issue and help each other stay firm on the path of Tawheed. If you're enjoying our content and want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support helps us grow and reach more people. Also, if you'd like to help us produce even more frequent and high-quality content, consider contributing to us on Patreon. Every little bit helps, and it means the world to us. So, share with your friends, and let's keep this journey going together. Thanks for all your support.